What's up, YouTube land? Xeno Gaming back with episode number 36 of our F1 2019 career mode. Here today we are at the Japanese Grand Prix. So I've got some good news, some bad news here. Today we have the good news is we got our engine upgrade. The bad news is we're not going to be able to really utilize it as we have a wet race on our hands. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. That's had to be a wet race, but wet races, sometimes I like them, sometimes you hate them, you know. So we're going to make the adjustments to the car necessary for the wet. And, I'm not looking forward to this qualifying session with a wet setup on full dry circumstances. Not all the practices were dry. It's just a race that is rain affected. So we know, everyone knows who's played this game, how quick the AI is around this circuit. This is the toughest track on the F1 game for the AOA. They are just so damn fast around here, and I don't know why they're so quick. Definitely quicker than what my skill level capabilities are. So anyway, we'll do the best we can in qualifying. Hopefully we can get out of Q1. That's the goal, at least. Even though we're coming off at that brilliant result in Russia, winning the race. This track here in qualifying, wet setup on the car when the AI probably wouldn't be doing that. They just run their default setup, and we'll just see what we can do as we now. Here's the first lap in qualifying as we come now towards the end of the lap, going through 130R, easy flat in the dry at least, and now coming through the chicane. Went a bit deep into the chicane there. It's going to hurt our run all the way down the straight as we come across the line, and it's only a 1 minute 28.8. So. Yeah, or 28.6, I believe. 28.6. So, not a great lap there. And now this is the next lap. Our second run in Q1, the end of the session. Our chances to get out of Q1, and we're currently in last place. As we come across the line, what's it going to be? Last place. Last place. Just, yeah. One of those things, I guess, with this track. Yeah, not sure why. Yeah, just didn't have the pace around here. I can't really explain it. I did the best I could. Giovinazzi also struggles to get a Q1, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And yeah, we'll have to just move forward. Anyway, considering we're at the back, I decided, you know what, just we'll change every component, put a fresh one in. We'll use these components for the rest of the season. Might as well try something here. Not to, and it just helps with the stress on the components for the end of the season. All these bits will easily get through to the end of the year. Even the gearbox, just might as well. If we're going to take the penalties, we might as well take them. So, yeah, that's the reasoning behind that. No other real reason, to be honest. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into this race.
Live today from the Mie Prefecture of Japan as we look forward to the Japanese Grand Prix. The 2015 race here was one of only 5 Grand Prix in history to feature no retirements at all. Although with the highly competitive field we have today, I don't expect we'll be repeating that stat anytime soon. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at a wet and windy Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with Sector 1 likely to prove especially difficult in these conditions. We should see overtaking into turns 1 and 16 today, and maybe a few Kobayashi-style dives into the hairpin as well. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk about the captain. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. A fantastic effort from Pierre Gasly yesterday puts him on pole, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Lucas Faber and Bottas, Verstappen, Raikkonen, Butler and Lance Stroll, Ricciardo, Norris, Kevin Magnussen and Giovinazzi. Hulkenberg, Fiat, they've taken a grid penalty. Alexander Albon and Sergio Perez. Grosjean and the captain. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, so you're lower on the grid than we wanted. Let's make the start count.
So, welcome everybody here to the Japanese Grand Prix, a very wet Japan here today around the Suzuka circuit for the 17th race of the season, and well, the conditions did not lie. It is pissing it down here in Japan, so not only were we last, we're going to have to contend with the weather here today. A bit of a mixed up grid due to all the grid penalties and stuff, and plus with the stupid game not recognising that the Mercedes and Ferrari aren't what they are in real life, so you just have to take the game how it is with that kind of qualifying glitch. But anyway, we underfueled the car slightly, not going to need all that extra fuel in the rain, so hopefully we can just progress, and hopefully we have a good race and we can be somewhat competitive, a bit more competitive than what we were in the dry anyway. So without further ado, let's get into this race as the revs rise here in Japan for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. Let's go around the Suzuka circuit, and not a decent start off the line, but we just kind of bogged down with momentum, and the rest of the grid pulls away. Very hard to see into turn one, and there's yellow flags flying already. So there's already been contact. There's a car off on the inside. I believe that's Daniel Ricciardo. We've been squeezed by his teammate Sergio Perez at turn two, and Jeff needs to shut up here on the opening lap. We've underfueled the car for a reason, but yeah, not a bad start here, and we now move into 18th place ahead of Romain Grosjean, but we are behind Sergio Perez, so we'll have to work our way past him. But you can see the AI a little bit slow here, all bunched up here through the Degner corner. So now we're right up behind Sergio Perez, and maybe we can make a move here into the hairpin as the AI go a little bit slow again. Yeah, we do make a move on Perez into the hairpin. Not exactly an exciting move, but you know, you got to take advantage where you can around this track against the AI. And the opening lap is certainly one of those times, as we now have Alex Albon up next in the Renault, and even though we were out qualified by the two Renaults, we still should be able to beat Albon and Grosjean here today. And our car is significantly better than theirs. So, anyways, we now move on to the back straight for the first time, heading into 130R. You just don't know what the grip levels are going to be like coming through sweeping the left corner. We're already up to 320 k's per hour. Took that at 295 k's. It looked like there as we lock up. We're gonna have a look at down Albon, and we kind of have to pull out of that one as the AI turn in. Albon turns in. So Gasly leads this Grand Prix from his pole position. Verstappen, starting down in the 8th, he's going to be mixed up in it. So it's another great opportunity for Pierre Gasly to pull some points back in his championship contender, as Verstappen has a 39-point lead in the championship currently. So that's be interesting to see how that one all plays out. As now moving on to the next lap here, lap 2, and we are once again slipstreaming Albon. We got Perez hounding us behind, so the best way of defense is attacking Albon here. We have a good run, he leaves us the space, he doesn't cover the defensive line, and we go down the inside, lock up the brakes a little bit, that's okay. We get past and move into 16th place, so not bad here. We now have Danny Kvyat up next here on the start of lap 3. But you can see Albon is already defending from Sergio Perez, and Perez is making a move, it looks like. And yes, he's right around the outside. It's a fantastic move by Sergio Perez, I will say so. That is fantastic. Around the outside at turn 1 in the wet. And yeah, he got it done there. As we now move on to the start of lap 4, we didn't get the best exit out of the last corner, and Perez has now got his eyes set on me in his Williams car. That Williams is very quick. Second quickest car on the grid here. We're about the 6th quickest car heading into this Grand Prix, and we're just able to hold off Perez through the turn 1 as we now move to the end of lap 4, coming to the back straight, and Perez isn't close enough to make a move down to this corner. But we now have yellow flags. You see a lot of black smoke. It's actually Danny Kvyat. Danny Kvyat is pulling out of the Grand Prix, and that is unfortunate for the Russian driver, as he's now out of this Grand Prix. So another opportunity lost for him this afternoon, as confirmed that he has retired from this race. As we now start lap 5 in this Grand Prix, and we're having a huge slide through the last corner with the tricky bump in the middle of the track. And now get the caution flags from Jeff, so not sure what's happened ahead. So now there's a safety car deployed, so slowing right down. There's cars scattered there. There's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen's on the inside. Is that Nico Hulkenberg? Maybe one of the Haases, wasn't sure which one. Maybe Kevin Magnussen, honestly not sure which Haas that car that was. But there's been a massive accident in Turn 1 involving Max Verstappen. No, neither driver is out of the Grand Prix. But yeah, huge accident. So that's going to really hurt Max Verstappen with Pierre Gasly leading this Grand Prix. As we now move to lap 8. And even though the strategy says the pit wants this race with the safety car, I feel like that helped the tyres. And I feel like the best strategy is to go towards this race by going to the end. We're going to go to the end, no pit stops, to just gain track position and hopefully hold on in the later stages of this Grand Prix. So we come back round to start, and here we go. Not the most exciting restart, not close enough to the back of our teammate Giovinazzi. So, but we got a little bit of a cushion over Sergio Perez. But now we move on to lap 10 here in this Grand Prix, and we're trying to pressure our teammate. We look like we're a little bit quicker at this stage of the race, and we are getting a good run here on the run towards Spoon Corner now, and we're going to not dive down there. We're going to think about this smartly, and maybe down the run through the chicane we can have a look. This is probably our best overtaking spot on the track. We got a little bit bad exit with the oversteer, but now right in our teammate's slipstream. What can we do about it going into Turn 1? So we're not going to be able to put an attack there, but can we now get a good run out of the chicane, try and line him up? The exit out of this corner is crucial as Gasly sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. And now we weren't close enough into Turn 1 that time around, but now onto the next lap. Can we have a go once again coming into 130R? We're not going to go down the inside here with our teammate and all the dirty air effect, and we run really wide, and now we're not going to be able to have a lunge up into the final chicane. But we got a pretty good run this time through the chicane. We're very close to the back of our teammate. We're right in the slipstream, put it into overtake mode, and you can see we're gaining all the time. We're going to go to the inside here. He defends to the middle of the track. We're not really alongside though, so we back out of that move. Don't want to do anything silly here on lap 12. And we're just losing time to the guys ahead though, but that's okay, as we now move again to the end of lap 12 now, and will be the start of lap 13. We're once again right on the back of Giovinazzi, and what can we do here? We get a big slide on through the last corner, but now tucked right in the slipstream here, and Gio goes to the middle of the track once again. We're looking to the outside, but nothing really doing there, and we just can't get alongside our teammate into to what it really is in the brake zone, so there's just no chance of even lunging. As we move to lap 14 here, he's actually pulled a slight gap on us here, as he also now pulls into the pits, as does some other cars as well, including the leader Gasly. So we're now leading this Grand Prix here, and Perez is also pitted behind, so we're now got just halfway through this race, just half this race to go. We're in the lead. Gasly, you can see he's coming through Turn 1 now. We're about 10 seconds on him, but Pierre Gasly was so quick in the Red Bull. It's now lap 18. He's already caught at the back of us, and he's having some kind of day. He's just, no one can touch him. No one can really touch him in at this phase of the race. He's just blistering away. But as you can see here, the rain has actually stopped on our screen, so we could be going to dry tyres very soon. But Gasly, look at the run he's got in that Red Bull, the power he possesses down the straight, the grip he's going to have as he comes through 130R here, and he easily sweeps around the outside to take first place back and the lead of this Grand Prix. You can see he's been setting fastest laps of the Grand Prix consistently, and he takes the lead, and it looks like he's going to win the Grand Prix unless there's some sort of failure for his car. So now we're in second place, and that's the goal, to hold second place to Charles Leclerc. So we move to lap 25 now, and this is the first time Leclerc's come to the back of us, and Gasly's still setting fastest laps of the Grand Prix. So this is the closest Leclerc has been. He's just caught up to us now. It took him that long. That's how much pace Pierre Gasly had in this Grand Prix. So, you know, kudos to him. He's really been quick, but now we're going to defend from Leclerc with 2 laps to go in this race. And you can see Hamilton is in the background there. He's in 4th place. Our tyres are pretty knackered at this stage though. At the time, I wasn't at this point. I should say, I wasn't really thinking that the tyres was the reason why I was so much slower. I was just thinking, man, they're just so quick around Japan. Obviously, I was always going to be slower on fresher tyres than Gasly, but he was lapping 2 seconds a lap faster than me, and consistently. And then he even got down to the 38. So while I was still in the 41s, I might have even dipped to the 42s. But running onto that curb every time through the Degners. But also, even though the rain stopped like 7 laps ago, whenever it was, the track has not dried out whatsoever. The track is still wet, so despite the lap times have been getting quicker, but just only by a second or two, not really. Like, yeah, it was real weird. I've never seen it in this game where the track, the rain stops and the track just doesn't dry out full. And it's been a good 8-9 laps, so yeah. Anyway, as we come down the back straight, we've got the cars behind there all gaining on us. So we're looking maybe to defend into the chicane against Leclerc, as Gasly once again another fastest lap. He's just a man on a mission today. Undoubtedly, I think he is driver of the day as we break into turn 1. We've locked up the tyres. Look at that. And we've gone straight off the track, and Leclerc's taken P2 from us. A bad mistake, really bad mistake. And now a chance of second place is thrown out the window, and Leclerc is gone. And now, final lap of the Grand Prix. Final lap of the Grand Prix, and we have Charles Leclerc behind. So our tyres, there you go, are absolutely knackered. So I didn't really notice it until that lockup, how bad the tyres really were. And on this last lap, I'm just tiptoeing around. Like, actually, the grip is just not there. You can see how slow we're going, and Leclerc is just pulling away hand over fist now. It took him a while to catch up to us, but once our tyres got to that point, that's it. He was alright on us, all over us like a rash, and now we can't even keep up with him. So yeah, we're going to have to defend all we can from Hamilton. We need to hold on to a podium. We lost the podium in Singapore with a couple of laps to go. This is the last lap of the Grand Prix. We've thrown away second. We cannot afford to throw away another podium here this afternoon in Japan. It's been an exciting race. You can see where Gasly is. He's about to come through 130R now. We started last in this Grand Prix. We haven't made a pit stop yet, and we're now running in third place. Max Verstappen's been caught up in all kinds of issues, and now it all comes down though to this last lap as we slide out of the spoon curve, and now using all the power we can as Pierre Gasly comes across the line to set the fastest lap again, win the race. So useless information, Jeff. Useless information. There's 2-3 corners to go. Come on, man. But we defend from Hamilton. He doesn't really have a chance into the chicane, so very smooth and careful on the throttle here. As we come across the line, Leclerc takes P2. We take P3.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
So another fantastic victory for Red Bull today. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Not the result our points leader wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the captain. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So, what a Grand Prix that was. We finished third place here in Japan. Pierre Gasly wins the Grand Prix in dominating fashion, let's be honest. Our teammate, Giovinazzi, gets some points. He finishes P7, 6 points. A great weekend here, constructors-wise, for Toro Rosso. Championship-wise, at the top, Max Verstappen only a 6th place finish with the disaster he's caught up. So, the Gasly with the fastest lap of the race and his win gets the championship lead down to 21 points with 4 Grand Prix left. It's going to be an exciting finish to the season. So, we move just ever closer to Williams as well, and I also move a lot closer to Sergio Perez in the driver standing. So, that's all going to be very interesting to see if we can end the season on a high. So yeah, looking forward to that for sure. And coming to the post race here, actually had some kind words from Jeff for once after the Grand Prix here in this next menu. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys because never heard this actually before. I guess I haven't had too many podiums on the game, but still.
Just wanted to say congrats on the podium. It's thoroughly deserved. We were sweating those last few laps on the pit wall, but you brought it home.
Looks like one of your rivals has also been invited to a historical event. This could be a good opportunity to play up your rivalry for the press and expand your reputation.
So anyway, guys, that was a really enjoyable race at Japan. It really was exciting, and yeah, I just really just don't have any words for it. Like, started last, went with a bold strategy to not pit. I thought that was the only way we had a decent chance of scoring some good points. It was really hard to overtake. I found it really difficult because just the straight line speed we had was non-existent against the AI. So yeah, that made it really difficult, and it was a good call as well to take all the grid penalties. And yeah, hopefully we can take this success into the next race in Mexico. Hopefully we'll be a lot stronger in Mexico. I believe we will be. A couple of upgrades. We're going to go for a chassis upgrade here to hopefully just boost the chassis department. Hopefully help us in that third sector in Mexico. And we've also got that area development on the way, so hopefully that will be coming for the next Grand Prix at Mexico. So until then, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until next time, we'll see you for the Mexican Grand Prix. Till then, goodbye.